So what's up, YouTube? I'm just chilling on a little vacation in an undisclosed location. Subscribe to my videos, Cool Craig 73. I try to put a video up every day. I'm either gonna be talking about something motivating for men, some type of motivation for middle-aged and younger men, or I'm gonna be talking about women. I'm gonna be giving advice, telling stories. You know what I'm saying? I try to make my stories interesting. If you ever get a chance, watch a video I made called Patty with the Fat Ass, where I'm talking about this older white lady I was trying to smash, who I went to truck driver school with. If you ever get a chance, watch that video. It's kind of interesting about how I was trying to get with this sexy ass older white lady. Um, in the story, I left out something very important. I was talking about how she never wanted to get with me, but we became friends and she gave me her phone number. And something I left out is that even though I could never get with her sexually like I wanted to, uh, I was able to get her to comfortably engage in sexual conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? That's important, fellas. If you could get a woman to engage into a nice sexual conversation with a woman, you are halfway there. You know what I'm saying? When I say comfortably, like don't talk to a woman about sex if if the conversation ain't flowing. Like don't try to force it because you're gonna end up running her away. You got to make a woman feel comfortable about talking about sex. Now with Patty, I could never get her sexually, but I was on my way. You know what I'm saying? She just wouldn't take the bait. But anyway, we were on the phone one night and we got to talking about sex. You know what I'm saying? We was just she was telling me things she like and we was just talking about love making. You know, I'm a very smooth talking guy. I could get almost any woman to start talking about sex in some kind of way. But anyway, so we talking about sex and she telling me things she like and so the conversation just escalates. You know what I'm saying? So um I asked, I said, so what you like to wear for your man like sexually? Like when you trying to look sexy. And she's like, well, you know, I like to wear a thong. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, God damn, because Patty had ass. This lady had a serious ass on for a white lady. And I'm just imagining that ass in a what it would look like in a thong. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting hard and shit. We laying in bed at night and she telling me how she like to wear a thong. The conversation get kind of heated. So I'm asking her like, so, okay, I bet you look sexy as hell in the thong. God damn. She was like, yeah, you know. So I asked, I said, so what's your favorite position? And I was like, well, you know what? I said, what's your favorite sexual position? She was like, I love doggy style. And when she said that, I just hit the roof. I mean, I'm like, God damn, I'm horny to the motherfucker. You know what I'm thinking about that ass, like, and and she told me she was messing around with one of the instructors, and he was a cool dude. He was a middle aged white dude. He wasn't, handsome. I'm not gay or nothing, but the dude, he was just an odd looking dude. He wasn't built like nothing. I'm thinking like, damn, you fucking him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he ain't got no dick game like me. Shit, you need to let me hit that. You need to let me hit that ass. Shit, you talk about you like doggy style. I'm like, shit. All this dick I got, I was made to hit women like you doggy style. Shit, the dudes you fucking with, this dick ain't nowhere near as long and thick as mine. I doubt. I mean, I could be wrong, but he wasn't no sexual stud like me. I'm thinking to myself like I would pound that ass. I would go in deep. I would penetrate. I'm thinking all this shit, and I'm telling her some of the stuff I'm thinking. Like you need to let me hit that ass. You need to be with a black man. I'm young, younger. well built, you know what I'm saying, sexy, and I'm hung like a horse. You need to let me hit that ass. So you can see what some real dick feel like. That's what I really wanted to say. But anyway, so she just kind of, we had, it was a nice conversation. And she ended up kind of, I was kind of hating on the dude she was fucking with. Like, damn, that's a waste of ass. That's what I'm thinking of myself. But anyway, over the years, even though I could never get with Patty, I end up making up for it with a bunch of women. I done had my share of women, being a truck driver. Truck driving is a very good profession to be in if you are a single man, especially if you a delivery driver. Shit, if you the type of dude and you going in and out of office buildings and you like delivering shit, you delivering packages, you delivering stuff to restaurants, grocery stores, you gonna meet some women, man. I'm telling you. You gonna meet some women. But I didn't never meet women like I did. I used to meet a lot of women in my younger days. I'm gonna go into that, but I'll probably go into that on another video. But I was meeting a lot of women online, and I ended up meeting this lady. She was older white lady. I'm not gonna say her name because she might see this video. I doubt it, but she might. Anything is possible. But this older white lady in her 60s, she was like 64 years old. This lady had one of the biggest asses that I ever seen on a white lady, older white lady. She had the type of ass. If I had to choose between her and Patty, if I had them like both, and somebody said you got a chance you could smash either one of them, that would be a tough decision. But I made up for it. Even though I could never get with Patty, I made up for it with the 64-year-old white lady. And Lord have mercy, I used to go over her house and we used to get it on. That ass was fire. Some of the best sex I ever had from a 64-year-old white lady. That lady, oh my God. But I used to go over her house. We used to have fun. That's all I can say. It was nothing but fun. Unlike Patty, when I met Patty, I think she might have been attracted to me, but it wasn't a strong attraction. But with this lady, when we met in person, I said she looked good for an older white lady. You know what I'm saying? And we were talking. We were sitting down. Like when I first met her at the place when we met in like a little. It was a grocery store / restaurant. It was a Whole Foods, and she was sitting down, and we met online, we talked on the phone, and we decided to meet in person. And when we met, we sitting down and talking, and the attraction was instantaneous. Like it was a very, very strong sexual attraction. And we sitting there talking and talking and talking, and we could just feel the attraction. I'm like, damn, she's sitting down, I can see her ass. So I'm like, I wonder what that ass look like. So anyway, so we talked for about an hour, and then I'm just gonna make a long story short. When she stood up, I seen that ass. I was like, oh, it's on. I said it's on, and it was on. We had a lot of fun, but so even though I couldn't get with Patty, I made up for it over the years, and that's the type of person I am. I'm gonna if I can't get what I want, I'm gonna make up for it. But I don't want to make this video too long. I'll get into more details, but just check it out. Check out all my videos, Cool Craig 73, and I'm